aren't you Sir Francis Galton?
Why, yes I am.
Oh, I see you're working on your American accent. So am I. Originally, I'm from Nice, France, you know.
France, you say? I myself from Birmingham, England.
Well, I see you have a chess game set up here. Did you know that I was actually the first to study the psychology of chess? Although I'm not a very good chess player myself. I was actually inspired by you and your application of statistical methods to the study of human differences and the inheritance of intelligence. However, I explored the healthy working mind rather than the pathology of mental illness.
Well, how flattering. I actually just returned from my exploration in the Middle East and Southwest Africa. I've been looking for a good chessmate. Care to join?
Why, I'd love to. Speaking of traveling, I just finished your book, The Art of Travel.
Oh, yes. It was during that time I developed my model of eugenics. First, though, I measured families and then took note on my travels. Eugenics, my good man, is selective breeding. It makes the utmost sense. If we want to improve the general intelligence of the population, it's only logical to encourage breeding of the more intelligent people and to discourage breeding of the least intelligent.
I see your logic, however, I have a different take on the matter. Although inheritance may set an upper limit on a person's intellectual potential, I think with the proper stimulation, anyone can grow intellectually.
Well, you see that child over yonder? Let's say, for example, his father is a statesman. Such a profound career as that should surely mean he inherited his intelligence from his father. However, let's say that his father is a painter. In such a case, the father should have never reproduced because it does nothing for the betterment of the general population and the human race. As I should know, I made the first scientific attempt to study genius and greatness. The painter's child would never accomplish anything in his life.
Never? What a strong word. I do not accept this view. If given special attention, such a child may thrive. I'm sure you also believe in the saying, when one is stupid, it is for a long time. I protest that we should not make such rash statements.
Were you the one who studied hypnotism?
Oh, of course you'd bring that up. Yes, I did work with Jean-Martin Charcot on the theory of hypnotism. We thought we'd be able to manipulate the symptoms and sensations of a subject under hypnosis by using moving magnets around the subject's body. But when other scientists weren't able to reproduce these findings, they discovered it was due to poor experimental control. But I've made quite a comeback.
Wow, a whole school of scientists had to prove you wrong. I was only challenged by one man, who said intelligence needed to include climate, religious tolerance, and a thriving economy. He said that they were just as important as inheriting capacity to produce scientists. To combat his silly notion, I created the first questionnaire used in psychology to gather information for my new book, which was called Englishmen of Science, Their Nature and Nurture. I surveyed over 200 scientists about their view of their own intelligence. The vast majority of the scientists confessed that they were born with their intellectual ability, and the desire to actually become scientists was inherited from their parents.
Oh yes, nature and nurture, that old chestnut.
This nature and nurture controversy is just a jingle of words. Nature is all the things that a man brings into the world, and nurture is everything that influences him after his birth. However, nurture actually only strengthens or hinders development of innate capacities, and this proves to be valid through the research with monozygotic and dizygotic twins. With monozygotic twins, the data show that they were very similar even though they were reared apart, compared to dizygotic twins who were dissimilar when they were reared together. Intelligence is innate, my good man. The study surely proves my stance on this nature versus nurture nonsense.
Well, I see your point. I do believe that nature can place a limit on one's intellectual ability, but I also think that most function below their potential. I strongly believe that anyone can grow intellectually, and this should be of the utmost importance in education. The first step is to identify those children who are normal and those who are subnormal.
Yes, but how would you measure which children were normal or subnormal?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, my dear man. I, along with Theodore Simon, created the Binet-Simon scale of intelligence to do just that. It is a way to distinguish between the two, and consists of 30 tests ranging in difficulty. These include simple tasks, such as eye movements, and more difficult tasks, such as abstract definitions. This test proves that intelligence is not only a single ability, but several. Additionally, by implementing mental orthopedics, we can improve a child's will, attention, and discipline. Such things are necessary for classroom development.
That's all fine and dandy, sir, but in my anthropomorphic laboratory, I was one of the first to study sensory in 9,000 humans in just about every way imagined, such as head size, reaction time, and visual and auditory stimuli, and breathing capacity, just to name a few. Through my research, I actually examined the relationship of various measurements to social economic status, gender differences, and test-retest relationships. This was viewed as an effort to measure intelligence and was the beginning of the mental testing movement in psychology.
But were you ever recruited by the French government to help decide which students were most likely to experience difficulty in school?
Well, no.